Hi guys, my name is Akshay and I am a manifestation coach. All my contact info is in the description. Many times people come to me, they tell me that Akshay, you know what? I have been manifesting for such a long time and I am at my breaking point. Nothing seems to be working for me. It's all spiraling out of my control. So, what am I doing wrong? My relationship with my specific person was going so well, but we had a nasty argument. And now we are not talking, and he told me that he doesn't love me, blah blah blah. He said a bunch of nasty stuff, or she said a bunch of nasty stuff. And I'm back to where I was 2 years ago. My finances were looking optimistic, but suddenly there's this new big expenditure, and I don't know how I'm going to break through. And I'm just tired of this monotony. I need my finances to do well, because I want to live the life that I want to imagine. But suddenly there's this big problem. And in terms of other manifestations also, I've been trying, and there's this issue. So that is making me second guess myself, what the hell am I doing wrong? And it can be so discouraging and disheartening when you sincerely have been trying your best to manifest your desire, and you've given it your all, like you've been very consistent with the routine. You've fought off the negative thoughts, emotions, feelings. And so what is it that you're doing wrong? And this can be a very depressing, disheartening, discouraging phase. However, that is how the universal patterns work. Okay, I'll explain it to you. Sometimes I go through these phases where nothing seems to be working right for me. And earlier I used to get so triggered so quickly. I used to get so angry. But now it's almost as if I'm smiling on the inside, because I know that if things are at their absolute breaking point, then that means that a breakthrough is right round the corner. It will be here any minute, any second now. Because those are the patterns that the universe follows. I'll tell you how. Right before a candle or an oil lamp, it burns brightest before it goes off. Okay, before extinguishing is the time when it will burn very brightly for a few seconds, right? We now have the monsoons in India, the monsoon, the rainy season, okay, where it rains for 4 months. But the 15 days before the monsoons are like hell, because it's like being in a sauna 24/7. If you step out, you will start sweating, perspiring just by standing there. And the heat will be intense, but that is what creates the low pressure. And the warm air rises, so there is a low pressure, a void created, and so the winds filled with moisture, okay, They are drawn to the Indian subcontinent, and that is how we have the rainy season. When you go to the gym, after working out, you are tearing down the muscle fibers, okay? You tear them down and you feel weaker after the workout. You feel tired. Before the micro tears in the muscles, before the torn muscles can heal and become stronger, they have to become weaker. If you know a little bit about investing and you look at charts of the stock market and stuff, okay, before a price goes up, it usually dips a little bit. It is testing its previous, a previous level where it had been for a certain while. So before going up, it will stay at a certain point and it will dip a little and then it goes up. It goes up like this, then it will dip a little and then it breaks through. And when it breaks through, the price shoots very quickly and with big volume usually. So these are the patterns that nature follows. I didn't create them, you didn't create them. I don't want you to create an assumption that before you get your manifestation, everything is going to be very bad and you're going to be sad and you have to face a lot of difficulties. But if something like that does happen, I need you to understand that that is how nature works. Before seasons change, even in cold countries, before seasons change, there is a very bad phase, like for example, just before spring, it will be very windy and unpleasant, and it will be very difficult to walk because the snow melts and then the temperature rises a bit and so it forms ice, so it becomes very unpleasant and hostile before you can have the spring and then a nice beautiful long warm summer. These are the patterns. So when you are changing your identity, the old version of you sometimes make a last ditch effort to stamp its authority, to sustain itself. Sometimes that does happen. And just like, before something dies, there's agony, there are the throes of death, as we call them. The old self concept, the old version of you, which is useless because it does not help you to get what you want, it sometimes will burn bright before it is extinguished. Your job is to stay committed, to stay on the path. When everything looks like it's spiraling out of control, when nothing is working in your favor, I need you to be committed like a rock. Because if you are not faithful to yourself, if you are not loyal to yourself, then how can you expect other people to be faithful and loyal to you? That's the question you have to ask yourself. I want you, Neville Goddard said that you have to be persistent. Why did he use the word persistence? Because Sometimes it might look like nothing is working. Like for Neville also it was the same thing, right? He wanted to go to Barbados, right? And what happened? He panicked. He went to his mentor Abdullah and he said that the last ship leaves next week, Abdullah. If I'm not on that ship, then I cannot go home and celebrate Christmas with my family, because that is the last ship for this season. And Abdullah said, you cannot talk about going to Barbados because you already are in Barbados. You went to Barbados. So why are you talking about how you will go to Barbados? And you are right now already in Barbados. He slammed the door on his face. He taught him in his own way that once you make the commitment to yourself, then you are not allowed to waver. You are not allowed to waver, because what does wavering even accomplish? What does surrendering to the circumstances even accomplish? What does complaining about your problems accomplish? Does it make them go away? No. So I need you to stay committed. I wanted to make this video because perhaps some of you are at your wit's end and you think something is wrong with you because manifesting is just not working for you. And you are getting frustrated and sad and depressed and irritated, and you feel like giving up on everything, and you're going through a hard time. I am telling you, the universal patterns are like that. You look at any phenomenon in the world, okay, it will have uptrends and dips, uptrends and dips, uptrends and dips, uptrends and dips. The dip usually is a sign that there is going to be a breakthrough. That is why people who are into investing, they buy when the market is at its lowest, when there is a recession, when there is a crisis. That is when they invest more, because they know that there will be a big breakthrough and they will make a very good profit on their investment. So if your old version, old reality, old thoughts, they are dying, okay, and it's shaking things up a bit in your external world, I need you to stay strong, stay committed, and tell yourself that if I said it, I already did it. I hope this video resonated with you and you derived value from it. If you like the video, please hit like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, unleash the power within you, and remember that if I said it, I already did it. Thank you.